Okay, says it's good on my phone. So, normal YouTube pleasantries. Hello, I am Tidbit, she, her. I do art, voices, play video games, and we're currently playing through the Apollo Justice Trilogy. We are currently on game 6, case number 5. Yee, we got peeps in chat. Hoy, it's been one heck of a week for me. I don't even remember what was going. Oh, right. We're in court. They asked for a break. We're going to take a quick recess. Ugh. The chat's just filled with she, tis she, he, she, me, her, sure. All right, and we're playing as Apollo because Mr. Right is the enemy. Okay. Wow. I knew Mr. Right would put up a tough fight, but... Hey! Just when I thought we... Yeah! Just when I thought we had him! He turned the tables on us! He really is the turnabout terror. We can't let him blindside us again. Looks like they got me again. 3 times in 1 year. That's a new record. That's, please. No more new records. Or bad puns while you're at it. The what? No one's called him that. I feel like they called him the Turnabout Terror when it's like he showed back up in game number 4. When he was finally showing his, like, hand of just like, I know everything. Oh my gosh, the Turnabout Terror returns! It's probably mostly from prosecutors that spread that name around. Because it's just like, that fucking guy. He uses evidence properly. And he's able to break down our fixed witnesses. It's ridiculous. It's hard enough trying to help you as it is. Roger that! I'll be more careful next time. Is what Mr. Wright said true? Did you really pay a visit to Dr. Buff that night? Sure did. Can't remember the exact time though. All I know is he wouldn't hand over the orb. Somebody put it in his head that we rebels were dangerous. That's why he threw me out! So, the doctor was still alive when Dats last saw him. We'll still have to prove it, though. Better brace yourself, son. The next witness's testimony could make or break this case. Yeah, I know. Hey. Where's Trucy? She went to go see her dad. Maybe she's still mad. More like worried. Worried that this trial will create a rift between you two. And that you might then leave the agency. She has an active imagination. I also have that fear! Excuse me. The trial will be resumed shortly. Well, let's go see what new testimony awaits us. Trucy has 2 Christmases this year. May 17th, District Court, courtroom number 6. All right, the court is back in session. Mr. Wright, you said you had a witness? Your Honor, I would like to call the lone survivor of the doctor's murder to the stand. Wait, you can't mean that Sarge is here? Thank you, Apollo, for actually finishing your thoughts. You mean Dr. Buff's reclusive son? How did you get him to cooperate? Nothing a little persuasion couldn't handle. The poor child only agreed to help if it meant catching the killer. Getting a kid like that to overcome his fear, now that's impressive. This must be really important testimony for the kid to come out in public like this. Let me guess, it's gonna be the helicopter, and it's like, we've had a case like this before. We had to negotiate with a trained killer at the other end of a walkie-talkie. This is totally legal at this point. Knew it. Oh wait, did I read the judge's last line?
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please call your witness to the stand. Oh my! Sergeant Buff, at your service, sir.
He's here as the drone. Really?
Mr. Wright, what exactly is the meaning of this?
Past trauma has rendered it impossible for the witness to venture into public. Leaving home was hard enough, and it seems leaving the witness lobby was just too much. But I would still like to continue with the testimony delivered via this drone.
I understand it must be terrible to lose one's father like that. But testimony via remote-controlled toy? What is this, Christmas? Well, let's take things for a spin and see how it goes, okay?
Just who's piloting this trial anyway? The judge sure warmed up to the idea fast. Huh. It's almost Christmas. Make sure it lasts 3 hours. Well, it would take tiny nibbles. Oh. Advent calendar chocolate. 2 centimeter schmorka having a feast of chocolates. I'm not gonna finish all this chocolate! Remember Kipper when Arnold flew into the sky to a cloud of chocolate theme park? He's in the building. He could be executed by the bailiff if need be. We're not in Khura'in. From what I can see, the bailiffs don't have guns. Unless they're like really small pistols on their backs. Oh, we have a new person in chat. Bossin Dominus. Hello. I think the phrase you're looking for is gave up.
You disappoint me, Corporal Justice, to think I once called you an ally. Aye! Defending the man who killed Papa? That's full-on treason, soldier.
What did they fully say? I once called you a comrade.
I hereby demote you back to private.
Corporal? Private? What is he talking about, Apollo? It's a long story.
Now then, are you ready to testify, youngster? Locked and loaded, sir. Ready to rain lead down upon the perpetrator. Eat lead. Papa met with someone the night he died. I didn't have eyes on the ground as I'd already mounted my siege defense, but I did hear him arguing with someone in his study. From my window, I saw the one designated Dats get ejected from the premises. After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time. He must have regrouped and killed my papa in the study later. I just know it. So he was thrown out, but later returned and committed the murder, did he?
Yes, Your Honor. So, the man my client saw really must have been the fleeting Mr. Arrebal.
Objection! Objection! Right, you backstabbing, no good. I didn't kill no one. It's the enemy radial missiles and fire! Yay! Wow, wow, wow! Count.
Oh. Now I see where the Russian tag might be coming from. Well, we've done too long with just this voice, and besides, that's his already Russian.
Capitalist pig, I'll turn you into pork stroganoff. And that's just a taste of my ultimate anti-swine weapon.
Whoa, it fires missiles too? Does it lag the PC game too? Oh, the missiles? It looks like it. There have been so many Russianisms. Yeah?
But I like doing this voice. It's fun.
2-centimeter tall Marshy just breakdancing in the middle of the courtroom. But they just haven't been noticed.
Yes, well, the witness is all yours, Mr. Justice. Papa met with someone the night he died.
Oh my gosh, it's a Sixer. Look at that. Yeah, normally I'm used to 4s. And 5s are like the big ones. This has been throwing 6s at me recently. I guess we're just getting into the end of the game. Philly hates the Sixers. Hold it! Your father met with someone? Could you please be more specific?
No, I was in the middle of a crucial defense siege operation.
Right. You're referring to how you don't leave your room, correct?
You never know where the enemy might be lurking outside the siege perimeter.
What about, you know, school?
I don't go to boot camp. I am a soldier. A sergeant doesn't associate with rookies. Still too green to fight.
With a kid like this, I bet Dr. Buff won't be getting any rest in the afterlife either. How old is Dr. Buff? He's 64. How old is Sergeant Buff? We don't know yet. What the fuck, Apollo? Well, we know the afterlife exists. There's Schmorka seeing an elder and going, ooh, free meal? Sarge is like 11-ish. I'm gonna wait till that's confirmed.
It was very brave of you to come to the courthouse today. But what was it that you said about a siege defense? Oh, that, well, I didn't have any eyes on the ground.
Sarge, I've always wondered, who or what are you battling?
That's classified.
Even so, it may be relevant to this case.
Objection!
I don't know if you're the right person to be asking about things like this. That's right. Such matters need to be handled with a certain delicacy. Then come in here, Athena. Oh, I guess curiosity got the better of me. Poor Sarge.
You're all talk and no action, soldier. Out on the battlefield, it ain't the number of pretty words in your repertoire, but the number of bullets in your gun that counts.
Easy for you to say. You're the one with all of them.
Would the witness please tell this court what he saw and heard that night?
Hold it! What was the argument about?
I heard things like, "Where's the orb?" and "Are you Defiant Dragons really criminals?" It sounded really volatile, like a war might break out at any second.
So the two of them had an argument when Debts came to get the orb. Did you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, I heard them arguing, and then silence.
Hold it! How was Mr. Arebal acting?
Like a cornered trooper retreating with his tail between his legs.
A trooper? Well, I guess he does dress like he's in the military.
I bet those two would really hit it off had they met under different circumstances.
Helicopter! There's Biscuit coming in. Yeah, I can see that.
And so, the defeated soldier was expelled. But that wasn't the end.
Dresses like he's in the military. He's a rebel. He used to be a paratrooper. He was. Hi! Hershey! Hold it! Bibs. That does seem suspicious.
He kept hiding behind trees and telephone poles and stealing glances at our house.
Well, you couldn't exactly leave without the orb.
I bet he was angry that he'd been kicked out.
Bib's ship name. Bibskit. Hold it! Ibskit. But don't you keep your front door unlocked? If so, then anyone could have gotten in.
That's true. Papa didn't keep our house locked up. He said there was no need because there were only good people in Karine Village. Only good people in Karine Village, says Dr. Buff.
Wait, doing Sarge and the judge like back to back is not helping. I might have to crack the can open at like the 30-minute mark, or sooner if it gets worse. Yet, he ended up dead anyway.
Only a monster could do what they did to my kind, trusting Papa. There will be no mercy. I vow swift and terrible vengeance. I'll carpet bomb the killer with everything in my arsenal. Fire!
Okay, I'm cracking it open now.
Your house got burned down. Maybe make your traumatized kid feel safer.
While I sympathize with you, witness, you will refrain from firing Gatling guns in his courtroom.
So, Sarge saw Dats too.
And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, I wonder why he hung around after being thrown out.
I hate to say this, but if Dats is proven to be the killer, we'll lose the orb to the plaintiff. So our only option is to prove the Defiant Dragons had nothing to do with the murder. Why does Athena care more about the orb than this human? You raise a good point. I guess Athena just sees Sarge's testimony as a blocking way to do Apollo's goal, and she's just like, I'm with Apollo on this one. So, deal with the roadblock.
She just got here.
Yeah. Okay, what evidence do I have? Oh, wait. We gotta say, they wouldn't do that.
That statement contradicts with this piece of evidence. Oh, fuck, this is the fail.
One-eyed male. I was once an eyed male. Now it's nearly been a year. It mentions both camera and microphone.
Objection!
Sarge, are you hiding something from me?
How dare you question your superior officer like that? You want to get in on this Stroganoff action with Pig Boy over there, soldier?
Sorry, but I'm afraid lawyers are missile-proof.
What? What? Would the defense care to explain?
It's simple, Your Honor. Just as he is able to see what is happening in court right now, Sarge was able to see what was happening in the study then.
What?
With his cherished drone, of course.
Oh! Now that you mention it. And to think the answer was right before our own eyes this whole time.
They've all got such thick chompers, like they got horse teeth. Well, I mean, when you say objection as loud as they do, you need some real tough teeth. That's how logic works.
Sarge, you were perfectly capable of patrolling the study that night. So you must have seen something.
I'm hit. What is this strange new weaponry you're using against me?
Courtroom warriors don't use guns or missiles because evidence is our weapon of choice.
Their teeth don't stop growing, just like a beaver.
IRL Sarge sweats oil too. That's a bit of a jump, but it also makes me think we never get to see Sarge in the flesh. And the evidence has exposed your bald-faced lie. My truth bomb, Sarge, has stripped your defenses bare.
Is there... Truth bomb? No! Mayday! Mayday! I'm going down!
It's just sitting there.
Oh, my, are you all right? There... Evidence. Never have I seen such fearsome ordnance.
Tell it to us straight, Sarge. After all, you want to help your father, don't you? The vibrations caused by yelling objection causes their teeth to shed and stay in good condition. Feels such like playing with a kid. Truth bomb.
Sarge, Papa. I read the name instead of the text tag.
Yes. You want to find out who killed him, didn't you? Don't you? It's a current tense, not past tense. So, please, tell us what you saw that night.
It's not what you think. I didn't see anything. I swear.
You sure? You seem awfully stressed for someone who didn't see anything. Curtains, not pastimes. What? Yay! Sarge, you need to answer my question.
Shut your pie hole, maggot! It'll be a scorching day in Siberia before a lowly private like you orders me around.
What's with him and Siberia, of all places? Now I have a piece of evidence that suggests there isn't a Russian accent. But if a scorching day is what it'll take, then maybe it's time to turn up the heat. Hey, Athena. You think a therapy session might help? Well, it could help alleviate some of his anxiety. Plus, I'm picking up a lot of discord in Sarge's voice. How do you not mention that it's already at 100%? Why don't you mention it when it gets to like 50 or something? Why is it always only at 100? Discord. That usually means the patient wants to say something but can't for some reason. And in Sarge's case, I imagine whatever's plaguing him is pretty severe. In that case, I leave it to you and your Mute Matrix magic mumbo-jumbo. You got it! Don't call it mumbo-jumbo. It's a science. Your Honor, I believe I can be of help here.
Time for a therapy session, is it, Miss Sykes?
See? The judge likes Athena. Yes. It will help the witness with his anxiety. Maybe even enough to testify.
Then, by all means, please bring the poor child out into the light of day. Oh, but I assume this will be all right with you, Mr. Wright.
Why not? It's not like we haven't been through this before. Imagine if I said no.
What are you butting in for, lady? There ain't a place on this battlefield for you.
I don't like Sarge anymore.
Objection!
I beg to differ, Sarge. This G.I. Jane's always ready for a fight in the courtroom. Why don't you like Sarge? It dropped down a peg with that statement. And wait until you see what I've got in my arsenal. Analytical psychology. I mean, who knows it works? Yeah, so wouldn't he be like, no, don't. Show it again?
What are you butting in for, lady? This ain't this place is on the battle. There ain't a place on the battlefield for you.
It just gives me bad vibes with all the military slang. I don't think it's sexist. But even if it was, Go on. Where's that gif of Kevin? Just go on, Kevin. No, I feel like I said something. Wait, what's sexist? Hey, we're on the sexist arc now, aren't we? Just keep that in the back of your mind. We'll use that later. No, I stand by it. I sense I made a mistake. Doll, was I right in doing the little thing at the beginning of just Apollo being very iffy of just like, are you sure it's a son? Him? We don't have that confirmed yet. Only Mr. Right knows. And he hasn't corrected us, so I don't know. That could be twisted into a cancelable problematic issue. With it, I'm going to blow a big old hole in the armor you've built around your heart.
Wait! Their first evidence. No analytical psychology. What are these WMDs coming from? Well, if it's a battle you want, bring it on!
Sarge told you to call him in male terms. Okay. I forgot. It's been a while. He explicitly said, call him sir. And has been directly called he, him in persona and all. If I've learned anything from military things, it's that sir can be used for strong ladies as well. So, there's no guarantee about that.
You may have started this war, but I'm gonna end it. Corpse woman Sykes.
You got it, Sarge. The fuck was Corpse Woman? Time to seek out the agony buried deep in your heart. Brace yourself.
I stayed in my room with my drone that evening. I heard Dats and Papa arguing with each other.
Just a little drone next to the window.
Dats got kicked out, but I saw him still hanging around outside. I was in my room, so I didn't know Papa was dead until the next day.
Are you already sad? You just have depression. Got it! This emotion isn't out of place given the statement.
Yeah.
Apollo, are you just looking at his emotions as they relate only to a single statement? It's really important to look for emotions fluctuating between different statements, too.
Right. Thanks for that reminder, Athena. Alright, let's try that again.
Evening? Then why's the window daylight? Gotcha. Got it! That's strange. You reacted with shock when you discovered your father's body. Yet you weren't nearly as shocked as when you saw Mr. Arebal. Normally, you'd expect the death of one's father to be much more impactful.
Enemy fire. Direct hit.
That is strange. I wonder what it could mean.
Well, we know he wasn't as affected by his father's death as he should have been. And I think I know why.
Oh?
Sarge, you weren't as shocked at seeing your father's body as seeing Mr. Arepal because... Why would he be scared of Mr. Arepal? Oh, was Sarge the one to tell the father of just like, I saw them on TV? Maybe you were scared of him.
Why, you... How could you even think I was scared of that capitalist pig?
What if I change the line?
Scared of that...
I can't even.
that commie cub.
So you weren't scared?
Listen up, trainee, you feckless amateurs. Don't even know what true fear is. Naive little babies like you wouldn't last 2 seconds out there. So, here's your first lesson, Private. A heaping spoonful of truth. Of true battlefield terror. Hey!
Fuckless amateurs.
It's a way of saying maidenless.
I think that means you are wrong. There's no need to look so bitter about it, Apollo.
No, but that was some bitter medicine. The aftertaste of failure. Sarge, you weren't as shocked. Sarge, maybe the truth is you left your room that night. And that's when you saw it, your father's body.
I saw no such thing!
Really? You didn't see his body? Alright then. What did you see? Ooh, got him. You got away with being wrong with no penalties, and you resaved? Eh? Force of habit.
Look, Apollo! We've lost some noise!
So, just as I suspected, you really did see something. Sarge, please! Tell us what you saw!
Oh, but. The moment I saw it, I couldn't bear it. I couldn't stand to lose yet another loved one.
Huh? Am I missing something here? Is that why you weren't very shocked when you found out your father was dead? Because you had already sensed that he was a goner somehow?
But maybe.
Please, Sarge, what was it you saw on the night of your father's murder?
Oh, I saw it.
Apollo, what the fuck is wrong with you? What's happening? He's right behind me, isn't he? Well, that just happened.
Apollo! What the fuck is wrong with you right now?
I don't know. I think I have got the Marvel sickness or something. I don't like where this is going.
No more! No more! Please!
Help!
Whoa!
I've confiscated your little toy. The battlefield is no place for unauthorized equipment.
Really? The battlefield is usually where improvised armaments are the best.
Widget! Apollo! I can't continue the session without him!
Yep, calm yourself this instant, witness. I hereby order you to submit to your therapy session. What? In blazes? Look at me, I'm judge, jury, and executioner now. I hereby convenes a military tribunal.
Owl's here.
Whoa, whoa. This has gone way too far.
Bailiff, arrest that drone this instant. Ah! Stop resisting. Come quietly. Fire! Ah!
Give Widget back, right? Ah!
You know, there's a room back there with the drone operator. Someone go confiscate him.
The first bird is done. Woo! Oh, I'm looking at it now. So pretty. So majestic. Ugh, finally got him back.
Nice work.
This witness is truly a handful. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Miss Sykes, what's the witness's current psychological state?
Let's see. His emotionality is all over the map. He's emotionally all over the map.
So his out-of-control emotions are in control of him.
Huh.
Does that mean we can calm him down if we figure out the root cause?
Yes, so let's see what we can find. Sarge, can you hear me?
Is that you, Corpswoman Sykes?
I'm here. Now, I want you to take a few deep breaths. Just try to relax. Try it with me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out.
In. Out. In. Out.
And now, let your emotions take you where they will. Just go on. Let it all out.
All forces, attack!
That's the least relaxing breathing exercise I've seen.
Double emotions.
Dax was still hanging around after he got kicked out when I heard more fighting and I got worried about Papa. So I left my room, but suddenly I got dizzy and passed out. I remember a flame lighting up the room and Papa grinning with delight. That's when he must have been killed. If only I hadn't passed out.
Folo, the face borrower, had a recurring gag of breathing exercise. But in the middle of holding his breath, he'd play Yabba Dabba Doo soundboards, and you'd hold your breath a long time. That's how I got good at breath control. Huh. That doesn't seem to be the cause of his current emotional state. I could sure use a clue or two right about now. A person's personality and past shapes their emotional it's saying through the flames. The kid with fire trauma. I forgot how this worked! Because usually, it's a thing that only shows up once, because I don't know if I probe it here or probe it here. And so it's like, oh, it's usually the thing that only shows up once, because then how can you fuck it up? I get it. That's it! Sarge, you were overcome with shock and fear when you saw those flames, weren't you?
Was I?
Yes, just 6 months ago, you and your mother were caught up in an arsonist's blaze. So, it's no wonder you would be extremely scared of fire.
Yes, that does make sense.
Maybe, just maybe, your subconscious fear of fire was what caused you to withdraw from the world.
What do you mean, corpse woman Sykes?
In the outside world, you were bound to come across all sorts of fire. Candles, cigarettes, heck, even the grill at a diner. Even if it's not that often, just the idea you might see them grew bigger and bigger until you couldn't shut it out.
I think you might be onto something. Candles, cigarettes! Just thinking about them sends a chill down my spine.
Wow, the things I take for granted.
Now I see. I was afraid of the fire. Strange, I didn't even realize it myself.
About that fire, Sarge, can you tell me what it was burning? Just stay calm, and maybe something will come to you. Nick looks over to Maya. Psst. Put that out. What, Nick? But I need it! Do you know how expensive these are in Karine?
Yeah, we're in America. Shh.
Good thing this courtroom has only candle lighting. Does it? No, I don't think so.
Oh, Oh, I'm starting to remember. It was... It was that relic. That relic Papa was studying. It was on fire.
The orb was on fire?
Mm-hmm. It's still kind of fuzzy. But yes, the orb was burning right in front of Papa. And there, in front of the flames, was Mama. Yes, now I remember. I saw Mama appear amid the dancing flames. What? Wait, what?
Like fire, hellfire. What's going on here?
Maybe it's a memory from the fire that killed his mother?
Fire Emblem 15 moment.
How many games are there?
He might be confusing it with what really happened when his father died. 17 games.
Now, I don't mean numbered, of just like, oh, it's Fire Emblem 17. I mean total. How many times does... How many freaking things have they sold? Like 21? Jeez. So let me guess. More therapy?
Yep. But this time it seems there's an inconsistency in his statements. And I think we should be able to prove it with the evidence at hand.
I hope this inconsistency is the key to proving that the relic really is the Founder's Orb. I got worried about Papa, so I left my room, but suddenly I got dizzy and passed out. I remember a flame lighting up the room and Papa grinning with delight. The relic was on fire and I saw Mama's face inside. That's when Papa must have been killed, if only he hadn't passed out. If only I hadn't passed out.
I think it's the fact we don't have the orb. Dats did not have the orb. Did he? Still, why would he injure him?
Objection!
There's an inconsistency in Sarge's testimony.
Is that so? Would you be so kind as to point it out to the court?
Nigel Thornberry fit. Smashing. Well, if you're gonna put me on the spot like that, I admit my confidence is waning.
I've never seen the Thornberries. I just know the memes.
Objection!
Oh yeah, wait, doesn't it say, offer thy prayers as fervent as fire?
The one Eid L male.
Mother returned.
I don't know. I don't know. Recall the answer, but I think you were on it.
Objection!
With the poem. Oh, really?
Objection!
No.
Objection! Objection! Objection!
Photo of my dad. Even an attorney's badge is usually not my right. Fire, I saw Mama's face inside. Remember, if I'm layering up the room, Papa grinning with delight.
Objection!
Don't blame yourself, Sarge. After all, even if you hadn't passed out, the outcome would have been the same.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the time of death. Your father wasn't killed right after you left your room.
What? Explain yourself at once, Private Justice.
You said you saw your father burning the orb, right? But that night, he went out to hide it in a cave. So, what you saw, Sarge, was something that happened before your father left to hide the orb. So you see, you didn't pass out right before he was killed. You passed out right before he left for the cave to hide the orb in the ruins within.
So, even if I hadn't passed out.
That's right. The outcome would have been exactly the same. That's because your father, Dr. Buff, was killed after he returned from the ruins. And therefore, Sarge, there's no need for you to blame yourself.
Oh, I see. Merp. Merp. Private Justice. Can you really say I bear no blame in this?
Why do you ask?
Because the truth is, if I hadn't engaged in my siege defense, Papa would still be alive.
Sarge,
Papa wished nothing more than for me to lead a happy, healthy life. That's why he quit his job and moved us out away from the big city. Why is there a Dolly Zoom? But even then, I didn't have the courage to set foot into the outside world. And in the end, I failed to make Papa's wish come true.
Sarge? If you want to make your father's wish come true, if that's what you really want, then who's to say it's too late? Why don't you take your first step now?
My first step?
That's right. You can cast off all of your regrets. You can stop standing still and start moving forward. You have the power within you. I know from experience. I know what it's like to feel like you do. But only you can decide to take that first step. I saw those, doll. Athena! Athena, no!
If you don't change your tactics now, Sarge, the victory you seek in the war you're waging will always lie beyond your grasp.
I think I understand now. I've made up my mind.
Huh?
As of this moment, I will suspend my siege defense indefinitely.
Woo! Oh.
Ah!
Sergeant Buff, reporting for duty.
What? I thought you were a guy! You're definitely not the gruff drill sergeant I envisioned!
Well, my mama was in... Fuck. It's a cute girl. What the hell?
Told you not to... Doll, you can be sexist against your own gender. I assure you. Look at TERFs. They are really sexist against everyone. But strangely, mostly women. Her mom was in the Russian army. Girl, you could have said that they are directly Russian. You said there was Russian hints. There was Russian little things. You didn't say it was this direct. You didn't say it was a fact that they name dropped Russia. Not what I'm talking about right now. What are you talking about right now, then? She's not sexist to Athena. Okay. I can accept that. I was just getting a bit wary with that statement of, there's no place in the battlefield for you, lady. Her mom, the influence on the military stuff. Her hero was in the army. I didn't know that! I had to take the statement without the context of this. Can you do a Whittle Baby Russian voice? I will. This will be like Olga Orly being smaller.
And more feisty. Well, my mama was in the Russian army.
I was just as shocked. But it certainly explained a few things when I found out, too. May I introduce you to Miss Army Buff, age 12. No way.
Careful, soldier. Don't forget, I could blow you away at a moment's notice.
She's just too cute.
So, have you always been in a wheelchair, Sarge?
Negative. Only since I was injured in the fire.
Your voice sounds awfully different from before.
Thank you, Judge. You're giving me an out.
My drone features a voice modulation device. It's just one of my army's many technological marvels.
Well, you fooled me. I thought some 20-something military fanatic was at the controls.
I like how the propellers bend a bit, and she hugs it.
If it's all the same to you, troops, I'd like to continue my testimony. I just remembered something, and it's as crisp and clear as a trumpet at the roll call.
What did you remember?
It wasn't my mother who appeared in the burning orb. It was some lady Papa had shown me in a picture of a long time ago. He said it was the Holy Mother, the founder of Corainism. She appeared right there, right in the burning orb.
Huh? What did you just say? Now we're doing therapy on Mr. Right, because he's freaking out. Whoa. That's a completely different image. The other one was like, ah, help me! Now this one's like, the fire surrounds me.
Do svidania. The Holy Mother of Corainism was in the burning orb? What does that even mean?
I have a bad feeling about this. Could it be... Could this explain what Sarge means by the Holy Mother appearing in the burning orb? That it is the Founder's Orb.
Take that!
What's that?
A piece of related evidence. Wouldn't you agree? Although, to be honest, I'd have to plead the fifth if you asked me how certain I was. Whoops. Doll, next time there's a character with a confirmed connection to a place, just say that.
Take that!
Dr. Buff's research notes? What do they have to do with this?
Look at this. The burning orb. The appearance of the Founder. This part points to both.
Take that!
There's a legend about the orb involving a mysterious riddle. And this song, in turn, is said to contain the key to solving it. If the legend is true, then I believe the answer lies in this part of the song. Offer thy prayers as fervent as fire. Only then shall the Holy Mother return. Well, anyone see where I'm going with this? Oh yeah, because Apollo he lived in Khura'in for a while. He would pick up on that. Prayers as fervent as fire. Oh. You're supposed to set the orb on fire. The whole stanza seems to suggest the Founder will appear if the orb is set on fire.
Wait! So the doctor, he...
Yes, Athena. He had solved the ancient riddle of the Founder's Orb. The Founder's Orb!
Oh my!
Her helmet has a little H on it. I'm just imagining there's going to be one little profile that has it sitting on top of her.
Papa was a great archaeologist, so I believe in him. And I want to believe I want to believe he achieved his lifelong dream of solving the riddle before he died. She's adorable.
Well, we won't know for sure until we try it for ourselves.
Yes, do it, Private Justice, please. I want to see what Papa was searching for with my own eyes.
Objection!
The, plaintiff must object to this.
Objection!
The plaintiff will stand down and be quiet!
Objection!
You don't have the right to set a precious relic like that on fire.
Objection!
Oh, but I do. All I needed was Sarge's permission. Since we still don't know if this treasure is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Ami Faye, any ownership rights the Doctor had now belong to his daughter. Therefore, you have absolutely no right to stop us.
Very well, Mr. Justice. I never thought I'd be saying this, but you may burn the evidence.
All right, here we go.
Ooh, that's a nice lighter. Just does it for you.
Look!
Apollo! Inside the orb is melting!
There's something in there.
The face of the Holy Mother.
Ah! Dirk! Isn't she...
Her garb leaves no room for doubt. It's the Founder herself. Face and all. I don't understand. The greatest of taboos in Qur'anism is the depiction of the Founder's face. Yet, here it is, hidden within this orb.
Founder's Orb. Updated in the court record.
Sorry, Mr. Wright, but as you can see, the issue is crystal clear. This figure is the Holy Mother, founder of Qur'anism. And based on that, this must be none other than the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
Be that as it may, Mr. Rebal still may have killed the Doctor. If so, it would render the orb transfer agreement null and void. Don't play dumb, Mr. Wright. The truth of the matter has already been proven. Dr. Buff wasn't killed right after Sarge saw Mr. Rebal. It happened after the Doctor came back from hiding the orb. And you've no proof that Mr. Rebal was still around at the time. Your claim that the Defiant Dragons were behind the crime doesn't hold water. So, that means the orb transfer agreement is still perfectly valid. Admit it, Mr. Wright. I just burned your whole case to the ground.
Yeah, because isn't the Crystal of Ami Faye the purple orb of amethyst?
No! I won? I actually won?
But, Mr. Wright, would you care to respond?
Respond? I didn't think so.
Wait, did we just win? Did we actually beat the Turnabout Terror? You're amazing, Apollo!
Don't just stand there, right? Do something! I don't think there's any digging out of this hole. Mr. Titian Wimperson, I think it's time for your consent speech. Consensian speech, whatever that means. I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the Founder's Orb. The facts don't lie. But you obviously do. How's that for a campaign slogan? Why, you contemptuous peasant.
I think this is a good time to wrap up this trial. If both parties have no further objections, I will render my verdict.
No objections here, Your Honor. Hold it! You can't do this. The crystal is mine. I'll lose the election if I lose that crystal. I'm sorry, but there's really nothing more I can do. You haven't forgotten about our little chat, have you? Huh? Oh, fuck. Maya's caught again, isn't she? What's going on here?
Objection!
Your Honor, I object to the defense's last claim. What? I don't believe they have truly proven that the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
Mr. Wright! I don't even think you could bluff your way out of this one. What possible argument could you have to claim that this isn't the Founder's Orb? About that. Oh, of course. You can't possibly hit on something. The defense's assertion is incomplete, and this is why. Their claim that the relic is the Founder's Orb is based on a legend. And that legend claims that the Founder will return when the riddle is solved at last. Right. And that's what's happened. The Founder was revealed for all to see. But, Mr. Justice, what about the rest of the legend? Huh? According to the legend, once the Founder returned, she would bestow spiritual power onto the person who solved the riddle. You're kidding, right? He died! Well, Mr. Justice, do you feel great spiritual power coursing through your veins? No? But receiving spiritual powers and stuff, it's just mystic mumbo-jumbo, right? Maybe so, but you're the one basing your claim on said legend. And what we saw here does not fully fulfill it, does it? No, but consequently, you cannot rightfully claim that this is the Founder's Orb. Oh. What the fuck? He just turned about. What the fuck? What's gotten into him? Why is Mr. Wright doing this?
It would appear that Mr. Wright has lost a few of his marbles.
That couldn't be further from the truth, Your Honor.
In any case, I believe this is a good time for a recess. Both sides will have 20 minutes to prepare. I ask that all arguments be ready by then. Oh, and Mr. Wright, you do well to wash up and find your missing marbles then, too. Ugh.
Mr. Wright is sure acting funny. I mean, he's famous for going out on a limb. That last assertion was just plain crazy.
It's either a bluff or a Hail Mary. Either way, it doesn't make much sense.
Maybe there's something we're missing here. Although, he seemed perfectly normal when we spoke earlier. Apollo, I have a bad feeling about this. I'm gonna check up on him.
Ooh, are we switching out assistants?
What's going on with you, Mr. Wright?
Hey, Private Justice.
Oh, Sarge.
I forgot to mention something. On the night of Papa's murder, a strange thing happened.
Oh? But why are you only telling me about it now?
Well, I didn't say anything before because I thought Papa's death was an accident. But now that we know otherwise, I figured it might be important.
There's still more to this case?
When I left my room and lost consciousness, I passed out right here.
Oh, there's an elevator right here. Okay. I was about to say, it's like, is the only way to this spot through this spiral staircase? That's very rude for a wheelchair-bound child who you knew was wheelchair-bound by the time you got this house, supposedly. He could have had the house before, and he set the fire himself of just like, we need a new home.
Oops, I accidentally killed my wife. Whoops. But you'll like it. There's a nice big old stair. Oh, fuck.
When I left my room and lost consciousness, I passed out right here.
That's right above the coffee bar.
But when I came to, someone was pushing my wheelchair.
What?
I was so scared. I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me.
Do you know who it was?
No, it was pitch black. Plus, I fled to my room so fast I didn't even have a chance to turn on the lights.
Maybe it was your father.
No, he would have said something to me. Besides, I'd have known if it was him.
So then, it could have been your father's real killer?
My thoughts exactly.
But you didn't report this to the police?
It didn't even occur to me.
It's okay. You were obviously still upset, so don't beat yourself up over it.
Apollo, this could be really important information. I think the act of pushing Sarge's wheelchair could be part of some bigger scheme. It's hard to see why else the killer would have done such a thing.
I guess I should take her statement down as evidence.
Aw, we didn't switch out Peeps. Aw, the little helicopter's gone, but now it's her, who takes up, like, the whole square.
The doctor's child. A self-styled sergeant. Her mother was ex-Russian military.
If Dats is cleared of all things, I want Dats to adopt this child. This child has no guardians, and Dats has military stuff. She'd fucking love it.
Oh, welcome back, Athena. What's with the long face? How'd it go with Mr. Wright?
What should I...
Athena,
Sorry, I zoned out there for a second. The recess is almost over, so let's go!
What the heck was that all about? That was the most nervous laugh I've ever heard. Double nervous. Nervous squared, even.
All right, court is once again back in session. Now, Mr. Wright, about that last objection you raised.
We, the plaintiffs, still believe that the defense has yet to sufficiently prove its case. They claim that, according to legend, the Founder's Orb would bestow spiritual power. Yet the relic in question has failed to do so. Therefore, it has failed its own test.
I see.
He's sticking with that ridiculous argument. Furthermore, even if it is the Founder's Orb, it can't be awarded to the Defiant Dragons. After all, they were the ones who killed Dr. Buff.
Objection!
What are you talking about? That was already proven to be false. There are no grounds for your assertions that the Defiant Dragons murdered the Doctor. Oh, but I am afraid there are, Mr. Justice. Your Honor, I would like to present new testimony to this court. Testimony that will show that Dats Arebal did in fact kill Dr. Buff.
Very well, you may call your witness.
I guess Mr. Wright found another new angle.
What new testimony could there be this late in the game?
Well, Apollo, did you just tap the fourth wall?
No, I'm not. No. Fellow citizens, it is I, politician, the once and future representative of the people. Jeez, not him again. I even care so little that barely remember the voice. My client divulged new information to me during the recess. He remembered something he saw. You see, something crucial to this case. How very convenient. Just a full volume think. Did my chat die? There hasn't been a chat message in a while.
Yeah. My chat was frozen, apparently. I hadn't gotten a new message since Al said, do it. I want to hear it. I told you to just hang on to the idea he wasn't sexist. I love it. It's audible. It's edible. Apollo, you bitch! Hug. It gives me a different accent. Gee, she's adorable. The last one was what his mom looked like. I fucking tried repeatedly. How dare you? The boring herb. The finder's keeper's orb. Apollo's head looks so much smaller in this cutscene. Concession. Same thing as to concede. Paul's got pictures of Phoenix and Edgeworth doing a little kissy behind the courtroom. Athena has a cute outfit. It's a costume. It's not her normal outfit. She normally wears a yellow suit. And then Doll said something, but then retracted it.
It was around 11 at night, and I was out on the mobile meet and greet around the village. That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. Rebal snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice? A suitcase. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. Then what happened here? Why is there a bloodstain on a book and not the suitcase? We looked all over for fingerprints. Didn't see blood, to my knowledge. You saw the murder as it happened! And you're just telling us now because... I saved the best for last. It's a tactic known to all the political greats. The murder weapon was a complete mystery, but my client's eyewitness account has finally brought it into the light.
According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck in the head by the corner of some object. I suppose that very well could be the corner of a suitcase. Even these rounded corners.
Objection!
But eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence. Oh? I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. What is that supposed to mean? I have physical evidence too. An alumni luminol test revealed. Oh, fuck. The doctor's blood on Mr. Arebal's suitcase. Really? But how does that prove Mr. Arebal used it as a weapon?
Objection!
You should know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. Since you know as well as I that the suitcase is covered in his fingerprints. Oh, I forgot we dusted it right in front of Emma.
The turnabout terror strikes again.
This is quite convincing testimony and evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice.
It was around 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village. And that's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. Rebal snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice? A suitcase. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. How'd you know it was heavy?
Most reasonable judge's game.
Hold it!
I would have to agree. That suitcase is really heavy. Wait a second. How did you know it was so heavy? For all you knew, it could have been empty.
Objection!
My client witnessed the crime in progress, so naturally he saw Mr. Arebal straining to lift what was obviously a heavy suitcase. I can't say I'm a fan of you trying to discredit my client by tripping him up, Mr. Justice.
I'm just doing what you always do, Mr. Right. Talk about new testimony. He's totally changed his story. I feel like that line is because he'll like constantly change if you press every other thing, but we immediately started with the last one. We'll see what happens. Or maybe it's just the fact that it's like, oh, all of a sudden you're saying you saw the murder and you didn't tell us. I'm back from putting groceries away. What happened since Nick's pulled an objection out of his ass? Well, we're dealing with that.
Can't say I like you questioning my client. You aren't my son anymore.
If he had really seen the murder take place... Oh, yeah, right. A politician is saying that he saw the murder directly. If he had really seen the murder take place, you'd think he had said so from the start. Maybe he had some reason to hide what he really saw. No, he's making it the fuck up. Don't believe it. If so, that might be our only opening. Where do I die? Or not this.
Hold it!
You were on a so-called mobile meet and greet at 11 at night? That's right. It's the perfect time because everyone is at home. You should have seen how the villagers' eyes teared up when they heard what I had to say. Tears of frustration, no doubt. You weren't riding around in your palanquin. That's right. Some village idiot reported me to the police. I've been banned from using it after dark. No wonder, with all the noise he makes. So, what exactly did you see then?
Hold it!
Sounds like you witnessed something rather shocking. Indeed. I didn't even believe it at first. I mean, a vicious murder in Khura'in? There haven't been many murders there, I take it. If I'm elected, I promise you that such a terrible tragedy will never happen again. A vote for me is a vote to banish murder forever from our beloved Khura'in village. Yeah, good luck with that. There's too many spirit mediums in there. You're gonna get murderers.
Mr. Attition Wimperson, could you please tell the court what you saw at the scene of the crime?
I don't think they ever address it, so I'm gonna say, how would he have cleaned the suitcase guy? I thought of that as well. It's like, how would you clean that? But it's like, that's probably not that's not important at this point. It's like, supposedly it was done at night. No one checked up on it until the morning. They had time to supposedly clean it. But then why leave the murder weapon right there? You think it's just like, ah, yes, because it's right and open, then obviously no one's going to check it. You hide murder weapons. But if murder weapon is thing that sits out in middle of floor, no one will notice. He needed it for his passport. I know. What are you gonna do? Unelect me? If you get rid of every law, crime rates will plummet to zero. I feel like that's something politician would actually say and do.
Hold it!
He snuck up from behind? So you're saying the doctor never even realized Mr. Arrebal was there? That's right. He was utterly absorbed in a book. I see. What did you see Mr. Arrebal do next? He climbed up the bookshelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books down on the body.
I believe he was trying to make it look like it was an accident. But that idiot didn't realize I could see everything from outside the window. Kinda checks out. Then the book absorbed him. Budum's hiss. Did you say Budum hiss? Yeah. It's tiss. No, I go to high bar comedy clubs and they use a Budum hiss. You peasants obviously wouldn't know what high art is. One of those statements doesn't feel quite right. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement just now. That's an idiot. Ooh, yep. I got him. The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder. That's vital testimony.
Very well, the witness will please add that statement to his testimony.
The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelf, absorbed in a book.
Objection!
Hiya!
The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelf, absorbed in a book, you say. I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable. That's quite a bold statement. Well, let's hear you back it up. I challenge you to prove that I am anything but 100% reliable. Ooh, overpromising there. I gotcha. It would be my pleasure. Lately, it seems the doctor's eyes had gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves. Oh! I'm sorry, Mr. Attition Wimperson, but I'm gonna have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. You what? I'll explain it, you lowly cur. I simply made a mistake, you see. The doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. Arrebal hit him over the head. But then the doctor would have been facing him. Surely he would have seen him and tried to run. Dr. Buff was nodding off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving. Sounds more like what you would do. Then how do you explain the fact that he was struck in the back of the head? Isn't that something that should be impossible from the front of the desk? Oh, about that. He bowed his head when he nodded off. That's when he was clobbered.
So, that's what you saw? Well, Mr. Justice, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation to me. Go on, prove it. You have a problem with the proposal that the doctor was struck?
I'm saving before this moment now because that stuck me one time. A big problem. You can't see it. There is a problem. A very big problem. The witness's statement doesn't hold up any under the slightest bit of scrutiny.
Is that so? Then you will please show this court what evidence you have to justify this.
Gladly, Your Honor. This shows the problem with the witness's claim that he saw the doctor nodding off.
Take that!
A diagram of the study?
Mr. Attition Wimperson allegedly viewed the murder from here.
My phone died. There we go. And the doctor was allegedly nodding off here. But from his vantage point, the bookcase would have blocked the witness's line of sight.
Why, yes, I believe you're right.
But, oh! Ah! Ah! The fact remains, my client knew that the suitcase was the murder weapon. So he definitely has first-hand knowledge of the crime scene. Phoenix, you just handed me that one? Yeah, I'm on your side. Oh, right, I forgot. I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then we have to ask ourselves, from what vantage point did he see the murder? What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice? From what vantage point could Mr. Attition Wimperson have seen the dozing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we'll finally see the truth behind this incident. The witness saw the murder from right here.
Take that!
You've got to be kidding.
But that's...
It is indeed, but everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study. Inside the study? But that's the scene of the crime! I know. Mr. Attition Wimperson, the man who claims to be a witness to the murder. Good, it gave you credit for that. Well, it was the same spot where Sarge got moved, so I imagine it's Wimperton who moved them. Literally click anywhere inside. Wow. And watch. Jello will play this game and he'll somehow fucking miss. It'll be like, come on! Was most certainly in that very room. Apollo, are you suggesting... Mr. Attition Wimperson, weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase? Oh! What you're proposing is ludicrous. My client is a small, thin man, whereas Mr. Arabal has the musculature to pull it off. He has a point. You think he witnessed Dats or someone else kill him from upstairs? No, it was Mr. Politician, because you can take stuff out of a suitcase. Because didn't they say the lock had tried to be forced open recently? Or am I thinking of something else? And throw it from upstairs. Oh, yeah, he could have used the elevator, move Sarge. Sarge ran off. They take the suitcase and they just dropped it onto Archie when Archie was at the coffee place. Just drop there. Bam. Dead. Where's the bigger diagram that shows the elevator? Fuck. Ha ha ha! I think I got it. You wouldn't even have to... Right, I don't remember what the upstairs looked like, but it looks like this is a fence sort of railing that you could just roll the thing through. You wouldn't even need to pick it up. My point is, why did you think he was upstairs during the murder? Because Sarge got moved by someone. Just because Sarge was moved from some point? But everything's all making sense once you put it into that. During the murder? It all makes sense. Like, maybe you got the right answer, but the formula's fucking weird. I gave up trying to lift that thing after one go.
That's right. He's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy object. Now, do you understand? The rebel that's a rebel is the doctor's killer doctor. Wait.
As long as the suitcase is the murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on Dats.
But you got there from the idea he was moving Sarge upstairs while killing him downstairs.
Yeah? Because it's like, if Archie was here and Army, Sarge, was here, they could see the orb and the fire right there. They passed out right here. He thought about killing, and he's like, oh, I'll just drop it. I'll kill them with this suitcase that was this other guy's thing. And I'll just, oh, fuck, there's this child in the way of the perfect spot. Let me just quickly move them out of the way. Oh, they ran off. Well, drop it down. He was killed way after the orb. Well, it's a coffee bar. He could have came back after the whole trip through the mountains of just like, it fucking flooded on me again. High tide. I really need a chart for that. Oh, I'm so tired from all that swimming. I'm just going to rest here and try and get a coffee and... It makes sense. You're right, but... I'm a good detective. I was able to predict my Christmas gifts perfectly this year.
Literally from less than an hour of seeing them under the tree. But again, your first thread was, oh, he had to be moving Sarge while killing him.
Tidsive. It's like detective, but you... D-tit cave. You'll have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo.
That wordplay doesn't work.
Oh, I will. With his own technique, no less. It's like detective, but you butchered it. So it's more like a victim here. Evicted, if you will. Tits don't work. They make doctors for that. Mr. Attition Wimperson couldn't swing the suitcase around. If Mr. Wimperton couldn't swing the suitcase around, we'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as a murder weapon instead. It's gonna turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright. Just like you taught.
You talk big, Mr. Justice, but do you have what it takes?
No, I don't have the piece of evidence that shows the elevator.
Well, this should be interesting.
Mr. Attition Wimperson's testimony has been filled with one inaccuracy after another. First, he stated that Dr. Buff was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims that the doctor was sitting at his desk. So where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer? And how was the murder weapon really used?
So the important thing here is the position of the victim and the killer relative to each other.
Yes, Your Honor. If they were positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use the suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger. Even Apollo gets it. You can't mean. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. It's quite distinctive, as you can see. Oh, Evelyn's here! Right after the big brain moment, I have figured out the case, and now we just gotta get through the game. Hello! Now, if Dr. Buff were sitting in a certain spot, and his killer was at a certain
other spot. Wait, wasn't there coffee spilled on something? Oh, yeah, there's coffee spilled on this book. Because if a suitcase fucking came down from up above and hit the coffee, it could easily get the blood and stuff on it. Kiri didn't have to summon me this time. Well, Kiri's not even here. Somebody get him. The suitcase would have become a weapon anyone could use.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Where was Dr. Buff's killer at the time of the crime?
I love how in 6 games, we have not gotten a single notation of what the judge's name is.
Take that!
Babe, are you a suitcase? 'Cause you fell from heaven.
There?
Oh, that's... This should wrap things up nice and pretty for you, Mr. Wright. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. But this time, instead of thinking in 2 dimensions, let's think in 3. Only then can we clearly see the killer's method at work. Ah, they're doing the 3D thing again. The killer didn't have to swing the suitcase. If he used gravity to his advantage, that's it. That's right. It was the plaintiff, one politician Wimperson, who used the suitcase. The T judge. His name is Judge D. The Honorable the T judge. He pushed it from the 2nd floor and sent it hurtling down onto Dr. Buff, who was sitting at the coffee bar. Oh! The psychology book had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. The doctor must have set it down there after he finished reading it, or the like. But his blood got on it, which is why the killer thought to hide it in that mountain of books.
Objection!
Ave Maria! That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. MatPat. But there's no evidence that the murder took place at the coffee bar. Oh! I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright.
Ew, blood! Ew, coffee!
Don't worry. Barbara will drink up all the coffee. I'd say that evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar exists twice. We just said that the book has coffee on it. It exists. Coffee bar bra. What? Are you one of those weirdos who go to Starbucks and pesters the baristas with milk? The evidence does exist, and I'm going to show you. You are. This right here is proof that the murder took place at the coffee bar. We just said the coffee. Oh. Didn't you just say Barbara will drink the coffee? Yeah, but you separated bar and bra. I saw the word bra and got flustered. This brown stain was determined to be coffee. What's more, it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning. One look at this book speaks volumes. Ow! Okay. I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. I'm very afraid, Mr. Wright.
To be coffee bar. Like the game.
It tells us the doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurtling down, striking him on the head. Just wonk. Causing both his blood and his coffee to be spattered onto it. Ugh. Oh! Well, Mr. Attition Wimperson? What motive could I possibly have had to kill Dr. Buff? And there it is, the final excuse cornered killers are so fond of. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Paul needs to scream at a comically high pitch. I did that, but it's like when he's caught of just like, oh no, I lied. But then when he looked at his nameplate that he slightly crushed, I went full out of. Tenori did so multiple times. Yeah, you can watch the previous stream when Politician first shows up. He screamed a lot. He's very loud. He's very spookable. Instead, he hid it in the cave ruins. Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. All it did was make him hide the orb. Your lie came back to bite you in the end. Even worse, the doctor saw the news reports, so he knew the relic was the Founder's Orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return it to its rightful place.
Is now a good time to say Tidbit got on the bad ends path 20 minutes ago?
There's multiple endings to this game? No! And that meant keeping it out of your hands. Oh, yeah. You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you that you killed him with your own hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Attition Wimperson? Oh! Ah!
That is... It's like Shadow the Hedgehog. There's 20 possible endings.
Apollo, don't. Please don't accuse my client of murder. Huh? What do you mean, don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright? What I meant was, he's a promising politician with a bright future ahead of him. It's in our nation's best interest to avoid burdening him with the taint of a scandal. Taint. Say what? Oh, there's more tape on it now. Right! You'd better do something to change the current courtroom climate. I'm begging you, man. Let me win this one. My wife is in the garage. She's so close to leaving me. Let me win this one, Apollo, man. Please. Fuck. Please. Please. A phoenix fell off. Or I'll be charged with murder. And you know what will happen to her if that happens. What's he talking about? Well, I can ponder that later. For now, Mr. Right, you can't possibly believe that Mr. Arrebal is the killer. Are you really going to send an innocent man to prison? I thought you were better than that. Well, Mr. Right, answer me! Mr. Right? What in the world's going on here? If you won't say anything, then... Mr. Attition Wimperson, the defense hereby claims...
Apollo, wait!
Not you too, Athena!
I wasn't sure whether I should say anything, but during that last recess when I went to check on Mr. Right, I overheard something I shouldn't have.
I trust Maya is unharmed.
And this is not like normal flashback shenanigans because this is completely new information.
Maya, and only Paul can afford her Japaphonia hospital bills.
He's having a moral crisis.
Fuck! Am I late?
Oh! Ripper's back! Holy crap! Welcome back, Ripper! You've missed a few episodes, but welcome back.
I trust Maya is unharmed. I can't really say, but just remember, if I'm arrested or fail to obtain the treasure, there will be consequences. Consequences of the worst kind, if you catch my drift. Relax. All you have to do is ensure I get my hands on that relic. I must deliver it to my benefactor at all costs. What do they want that relic for, anyway? It's something to do with an old legend. My patron seeks the great power said to be granted to whoever solves its secret. But they'll pay me handsomely, so I'll just go with it.
I think that's the only, like, relaxed animation he has that isn't reliant on the podium. Also, it is just really funny to have the Palanquin just in the room.
Christmas break.
Also, sorry for not appearing from other live stream. I had school before, but now I have Christmas holiday. I'm back, baby!
Cool! Welcome back.
Had the Palanquin been in the little room? Had the Palanquin been in the elevator? Maya. As in, Maya Fey?
Yes, the boss's legendary former assistant.
Ms. Fey's being held hostage?
So it seems.
Why didn't you tell me as soon as you heard this?
Sorry, it's just Mr. Wright spotted me before I could slip away and made me promise not to tell you. He said it would make things more difficult if you found out.
As if things weren't already hard enough! So that's why Mr. Wright was acting so strange. I had no idea. This must have been excruciating for him. Think, Justice. There's got to be something you can do.
Mr. Justice, about that last statement of yours, I believe you were in the middle of accusing the plaintiff of murdering Dr. Buff. Would you care to continue?
I'm sorry, Apollo. I'm really, really sorry.
What's gotten into you two?
Kidnapper be saying, "Give me $20 million or no burger for Ms. Fey."
Bad ending. Maya lived.
Why does everyone hate Maya? I haven't seen any issues with Maya. I don't get it.
I've been playing through the first game and
Yeah, she steals a few things, but she's not, like, actively detrimental to the cases. She doesn't, like, destroy evidence. And she's been accused a few times, but that's because they're trying to get at Phoenix. Oh, Maya, can't you just stay out of trouble for once? I like Maya fine, but I'm okay with her being away, but she doesn't have to die. She's fine. Murder is really bad and not something to be taken lightly. I mean, heck, we're lawyers about it. I get it's like, oh, if someone dies, we can just use the spirit medium to, like, call them back. But then, if Maya's gone, it's just Pearly. As long as Maya's alive, that means there can be less Maya because she'll possess people. Have people possess her. Paul was holding Maya hostage in the doctor's house. She leant on the suitcase and knocked it off the balcony. This is her fault again. No! Maya Fey may be good, but when I was going to McDonald's, the menu was already gone. She just ate it.
It looked like a burger.
That was a TV screen, miss.
But it looked like a burger.
If I accuse that slime bag... No, that's too good for him. Slimes are great. If I accuse this bag, meat bag, I put Miss Faye's life in jeopardy. Ha ha ha! It seems you finally caught on. I'm far too important to be accused of murder. I'm gonna be president after all. And once you get accused of murder after being president, that just goes away. You could even do some really bad things as president and just remove them.
My gosh, the leaf blowers are really loud.
I don't know if you can hear it. I feel like you should be able to. After all, our nation's future rests squarely on my shoulders. Either I give up or... Once I present the crystal to my patron, my victory is assured. Then one day, I'll become president and then king! I'll have every politician at my command! Now, retract your accusation! Ugh. I can't kowtow to him, but kowtow? That's a new one. The defense would like to retract the previous Apollo! Dirk? I don't know what's going on here, but a lawyer should never look the way you do right now. With defiant, with defeat and resignation written all over your face.
A dragon never yields.
A dragon never yields. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end.
Kowtow, like town.
That's what lawyers do to get the truth.
Dirk, a dragon never yields. How now, Brown Town inside a cow? He's right. It's all over if I give up now. If Mr. Wright's hands are tied, it's up to me to do what must be done. He saved my neck so many times. Now, it's my turn to save his. Wait, and everybody's leaf blower voice. Only I'm not there. What? You can hear the leaf blowers?
Next time the judge shows up, can you make his voice a leaf blower? I can't. Okay. Ah. Can't hear everything over the leaf blower. JK. Oh my gosh, you people! If Phoenix wrong... What is this? What are you, Ripper, an attorney? Not an attorney. A prosecutor? You're calling him Phoenix wrong. Forgot to buy burger for Maya. Maya Fey will appear with a light tank M3A3 with mortar. I'm such a devious little 2-centimeter tall creature. Yeah. Dirk, thanks for that wake-up call.
Now, that's the face of a lawyer you've got there, son.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm gonna find a way to save Ms. Fey and see that justice is served. Whew! That scumbag is holding Ms. Fey hostage to ensure he gets the orb for his patron. And it seems said patron believes in the orb's legend. Thing is, the founder did appear when the orb was exposed to fire, just as the legend said. Or are we gonna point out that it's like Dr. Buff had the power, but then he got killed by said person? So it's useless? If the legend is true, then we've already solved the riddle, right? Yes. Oh. Yes, we've definitely solved the... And yet, we still don't understand what the part about bestowing power is talking about. We need to rethink this. If the legend is true, then no, not yet. We have not solved the riddle yet. Okay. The legend says the founder will bestow great spiritual power when she returns. Alright, this bit. I've been here whole stream. This bit has been here the whole stream. I am just a one tidbit. Good stuff. But if that's true, it means we haven't solved the whole riddle yet. Oh, descending? Does it need to come down or something? What's with this Danganronpa ass segment? Welcome to the Mind Palace. But how can that be? Are we missing something? Wait, maybe. This was so weird the first time it happened. It's like, wait, why are we going into their head? Whoa, 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 whoa! Maybe the part about the founder returning should be taken literally. But how would it be possible for a dead person to return to the world of the living? Channeling. The Mind Palace is in a Denny's basement. All the Denny's that I've seen have slowly been disappearing. There used to be 3 very close to where I grew up, and all 3 of them are gone. Oh, I know. There is a way for the dead to return. Spirit channeling! Of course, you have to know what the founder looks like first. The orb has revealed her face to us. So, what if it's a sign that we should channel her? Given the facts, in order to solve the riddle and receive the founder's power, I need a spirit medium. Denny's? More like deceased. I miss Quiznos. I saw Quiznos once. Never went in, and I've never seen it again. The ability of a medium to channel spirits is the final key to unlocking the orb's secrets. Also, I was recently talking to my girlfriend about Quiznos and how I've never gone in and wondered what it was. That means Mr. Ashton Wimperson, Mr. Attition Wimperson's patron, will need one too. And once that slimy, scummy politician realizes that, he won't be able to lay a finger on Ms. Fey. Merry Quiznos! Everything's going to be okay, Mr. Wright. Because Mr. Politician Wimperson Can't afford to harm a hair on Ms. Faye's head. Huh? Mr. Attition Wimperson, it seems you've chosen the wrong person to take hostage. What do you mean? Your patron seeks to solve the orb's riddle, and thereby receive great spiritual power. However, only Maya Fey can truly give them what they really want. She can? What do you mean, only Maya Fey? Think about what the return of the Founder really means. We should have considered it more literally.
I have a question. What's a Quiznos?
It's a sandwich chain. It's dead. It's like Subways, of where you get to build your own burger, but they had cooked bread or something like that. They made subs. But then once Subway was able to then get ovens on the more direct area to cook their bread actively as the order was being made, then Quiznos Niche was now going up against Subway. Zoom out of Polly's big forehead. I'm in Denmark, actually. It's a Christmas trip. Woo! Aviation really is in their name. They flew to Denmark. Oi! I see a lot of people here. You better be liking the stream. If you want Apollo to strain his eyes again. Ooh, and something got deleted. Sorry, I have bad internet here. We should have considered it more literally. After all, the orb was made in the kingdom of Khura'in, the birthplace of spirit mediums. Oh, I think I see it now. You need to know what the deceased looks like in order to channel them. But in Khura'inism, depicting the face of the founder is a taboo. However, her true face was hidden in the orb. So maybe the orb is telling us to try channeling the founder. Exactly! Through a spirit medium, the founder can quite literally return. And if the legend is true, the founder just might bestow spiritual power on someone when she does. It's like when Pearls imbued my Magitama with spiritual power. If a human could imbue it with such power If a human could be imbued with such power in a similar manner...
It is said the Founder possesses immense spiritual power. Such a great feat would not necessarily be beyond her. Wait a sec! Then the legend is true?
Do you understand now, Mr. Attition Wimperson? You are holding hostage the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. And if anything were to happen to her, the riddle would remain unsolved forever.
Oh! Oh! My thing! I crushed it! Again! Ah!
There's always Pearl, Faye! I could simply ask her to help! If she wants money, I have plenty to offer. She's not the kind of person to be tempted by material gain. And she certainly wouldn't help you if anything were to happen to her cousin. Or maybe you'd like to go ask the Queen of Khura'in to channel the founder for you. He could, but he'd probably get executed for requesting such a thing. It's over. Now confess! You killed Dr. Buff, didn't you?
Oh! It wasn't supposed to end this way. Mr. Attition Wimperson, are you admitting to the crime?
You're my lawyer, right? Do something! It's true that I'm your lawyer, and as such, it's my job to defend you.
However, defending my client isn't the only duty a lawyer has. There's something else that's equally as important. And that is finding the truth.
You don't get paid if I get accused, you know.
But what? Mr. Attition Wimperson, you have sought to twist the truth in the dirtiest of ways. I was complicit in your hostage-taking. But in a way, I was being held hostage too. Even so, there's still hope for me to make things right. And I owe it to you, Apollo. Huh? Mr. Wright. I can't allow a murderer to walk away scot-free. Therefore, Mr. Attition Wimperson, I must resign as your attorney.
No!
Does that mean I'm under arrest?
No!
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've nothing to confess. What? I said I've nothing to confess. I don't, and I won't, especially not to a plebeian like you. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Besides, there's no truth to these allegations. I mean, look at the suitcase. You won't find a single print of mine on it. All that means is you wipe them off, taking care only to leave Mr. Rebels. As many a great politician has said before me. No comment. In that case, try switching things up, Apollo. Look at the situation from a different angle. Is there really nothing that points to the suitcase being dropped from up above? Evidence that points to the suitcase being dropped from the second floor.
It is an airport luggage case, which means it's designed to take crashes and falls from people throwing it off a fucking plane onto a tarmac, or from the tarmac onto a plane. I like to hide my face in a girl's orbs. Whoever liked the stream just now, good job. Apollo is proud of you.
Yeah, I'm Apollo Justice, and I am proud of you liking the stream.
Oh, I'm Athena Sykes, and don't forget to subscribe. There's more of these every Monday.
All right, do I have anything to shout out? You could, like, talk about the comments? Oh, yeah, comment your favorite part down below.
And also, you can clip the streams and see your clips on the front of the channel. We love seeing what your favorite moments are in action. How was that?
Pretty good. Thanks.
If the killer pushed the suitcase from the second floor hallway over the coffee bar... I'm Athena Sykes, and subscribe, or I'll do an iconic Athena Sykes dox on you. It's with one X, so I'm not legally liable. That would place him right around here.
Ah! Maybe, just maybe. Thought of something, Apollo? I believe this piece of evidence to be connected to the dropping of the suitcase.
Whoop! Take that! That appears to be a statement. But how is that related to this case? And the case at hand?
On the night of the murder, Your Honor, Miss Army Buff physically left her room. That's when she saw the doctor burning the orb and subsequently passed out, right above the coffee bar. But with her there in her wheelchair the killer wouldn't have been able to drop the suitcase down onto the doctor. Good point. However, according to the Sarge, she woke up just as someone was trying to move her in her wheelchair. Oh. Any flashback with Sarge reverses the voices.
Someone was pushing my wheelchair.
What?
I was so scared. I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me.
That's a good gimmick. She must have been in the killer's way and had been moved. Isn't that right, Mr. Attition Wimperson? And if the killer had pushed the wheelchair with his bare hands, we may yet find the conclusive evidence we need. Exactly! Fortunately for us, that evidence slipped right through the killer's fingers. If only he'd been able to hold on to it just a little tighter. But now, he is neither able to discard nor alter it. Honestly, that piece of evidence wasn't supposed to be here in this courtroom today. And yet, it looks like some things do get better. This is supposed to happen! No? Well, too bad, because the evidence that sped away from you that night has come back to haunt you, right here at this very trial. Your Honor, the defense's final piece of evidence is on this person. Look at her. Look at the good girl.
Take that!
That's... On the night of the murder, Sarge passed out, only to come to and find that someone was pushing her wheelchair. That's when she fled back into her room. She didn't physically see a single soul after that. Not until Athena drew her out through that therapy session, that is. That was a long white screen. While the killer was able to wipe the prints on the suitcase off, the same can't be said for the prints that got away. My fellow Carinians. Well, Mr. Politician Wimperson, try to explain your way out of this one. The podium is all yours. Politician, savior of Karine. I am not a crook. My political career, it can't end like this. I'm destined for greatness. Something's wrong. This isn't real. This is a dream. No, a nightmare. No, please. Huh? What? Wait, really? Huh? Me? No way! Banzai! 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 Breaking news, politician arrested on murder charges as stripped of his electoral. Wait, what? No, please. Wait. Don't go. No, please. It's just crumbled to pieces. Like someone cut it with a fucking samurai sword. Simon's off in the corner like, I fucking did that. Cool, right?
Mr. Attition Wimperson, are you all right? Bailiff, get him to the first aid station on the double. Well, this is yet another unexpected turn of events. In light of everything that's been revealed, it seems the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb. And it seems Mr. Politician Wimperson can be considered a suspect in Dr. Buff's murder.
Apollo, I want to thank you for everything.
Huh?
Thanks to you, I don't have to keep bending the truth.
A suspect? Legally, that is all I can say right now.
I don't know what I would have done without you. Don't mention it.
You were amazing today, Apollo.
Well, I couldn't have done it without Dirk.
A dragon never yields.
Okay, doll. You get your wish. A flashback Dirk.
A dragon never yields. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go until its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey to the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth.
Did I say that? You made a suggestion when we first saw Dirk that we couldn't see his Adam's apple and he should have a high-pitched voice. I've been waiting for that.
A dragon never yields. Every lawyer should take that to heart.
Is that how he hears himself? Maybe.
As it seems both sides have no further objections.
Ibby's here! You're pretty close to the end. I can't even say you're not late. There's only 20 minutes left in the stream. We had our FNAF marathon with the siblings. Oh, no. Yeah. Speaking of marathon, right before stream started, I watched RT's video of watching all of Skibidi Toilet.
Would Dirk Sadmaki please take the stand?
Real.
This court awards the orb to the Defiant Dragons per the stated transfer agreement.
She's not late to this stream. She's super early to next week's stream. Monday, noon PST.
Should the Kingdom of Khura'in claim ownership, the matter may have to be deliberated in court all over again. I just hope, or shall I say pray, that I'm not the judge presiding over that one.
Oh. 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 Am I okay? No. Oh. It sounded violent. I was doing a barrel-chested laugh, and a burp was like, no. That burp was... I don't even know how that sounded in a microphone. That laugh...
Indeed, a trial like that might spark an international incident. Still, there are bigger and more momentous things astir in the air.
The revolution. Dirk's really serious about this.
I am a rebel. Of course I'm serious. This court is adjourned.
Be careful. I did have like 2 whole hot dogs before showing up on stream. That was my lunch. Don't burp without letting someone know where you are first. What? Hot dogs! Gotta love when you go to do something and your body's like, nah, I got a joke. Watch this. So they can help you.
Nice work, son. We've finally broken through the last obstacle on the road to revolution.
Revolution. It just doesn't seem real.
Yes, well, to think you actually defeated the Fighting Phoenix. All I can say is, that's my boy!
Well, Mr. Wright did have his hands tied. Who knows if we'd have won if he'd been able to fight me head on. What do you mean he had his hands tied? He was absolutely fighting for his client because his hands were tied towards fighting you. They're trying to downplay it of just like, oh, but was that the real Phoenix? That was the real Phoenix. That was the Phoenix fighting for Maya. Great case, no Madi.
I see it more like you saved Mr. Wright.
Saved him?
Yeah, remember what he said? He didn't have to bend the truth anymore, and it was all thanks to you.
I don't know about that. Did he say all?
In the voiceover, they didn't say all, but in the text, it was there.
Still, I guess it is kind of nice to be appreciated. Yeah, being self-deprecating helps no one. It doesn't even get you compliments.
Mr. Dirk? Now that the Holy Mother's face has been revealed, are you going to have a spirit medium try channeling her? I, for one, would love to see the return of the legendary founder.
Yeah, just think, when were you into Karina's?
Ever since this guy said that you and I made a great couple and he is your dad?
Jersey, we're like siblings. I don't want to marry you.
Yeah, but we could.
Don't. There's reasons.
Yeah, just think
about it. Being able to speak to someone right out of the history books. Saved Nick. Who cares about Meyer other than him? But you saved him!
Unfortunately, it's not that easy.
What? Why?
A face isn't enough. You also need the true name of the one you're attempting to channel. I'll give you a court record of when the Fighting Phoenix had to deal with finding the true name of someone. And can you believe? They thought his name was Perezalot, but his actual name was Real Nemu.
You're pulling my leg.
I am not!
Oh, right. Pearl mentioned something like that.
And the founder's true name is only known to the priestess who's been crowned queen. In short, the only living person who knows it is the current queen of Karine, Garan.
Oh. So without her help, we won't be seeing the founder anytime soon. Say sec right now.
Finding Nemu. I am not joking. We had to find the real name of a guy called Praise-a-Lot. Or Praise-Zealot, if you want to be more grammatical about it. And their name was Real Nemu.
That's no fun.
Founder's Orb. So, Dirk, what will you do now?
Probably get executed. First, I'll start by tracing the route by which the orb came into Dr. Buff's hands.
Since we know it was Politician that asked the doctor to study it, isn't he the one who stole it?
No, a politician nobody like him. A political nobody like him couldn't get anywhere near the orb, let alone steal it. He must have had inside help. My money is on someone connected to the royal family.
Oh, right. You said something to that effect back in the cave.
Whoever it may be, we need to expose their dirty schemes to the light of day.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Wright has plenty of information courtesy of his dirty client. He might be able to shed some light on this.
Private Justice. That was fine work you did at the trial today. You did your sergeant proud.
Back at you, Sarge. It took real courage to leave your room like that, and the old voice behind.
Yes. It's all thanks to you and Corpse Woman Sykes. With my siege defense over, I can finally sally forth. But the battle's only just begun. One for me, and me alone to fight. To lose your mother, and then your father. What a terrible thing to endure.
Yeah. Apollo! That's rude. Though he is thinking it. Your thoughts are not something that you can control fully. And so do not blame yourself if you have bad thoughts, because the only thing that you should be judged by is your actions. If you are judged by your thoughts, you're not being judged. It is your actions that show who you are. If you think of bad things, it doesn't make you bad. But acting on those bad things, letting those bad things still happen, is being bad. So, take that to heart.
Private Justice. I've been thinking. It's about time I stood on my own 2 feet. After all, I no longer have Papa to cuddle me.
Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Take a good look, soldier. This is one small step for man, and one giant leap for me. Hold my drone for me, would you, Private Justice?
Yes, sir? What is she up to?
What? Why?
She's standing? Okay, now I see what you were going at, doll.
What's this? Sarge, you mean your legs, they're not broken? Why the fuck did you have a wheelchair?
The doctor told me I was ready to walk again months ago.
Oh. Writing away disability is not character growth.
But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I'd have to leave the house.
I'm torn on this. That, yes. Writing away disability for character growth is not something. But it's also... This is kind of in line for what a 12-year-old would think. Of just like, if I don't tell them I can walk, then I don't have to leave. The world is so shitty about infrastructure that me saying I cannot walk means I have to stay in house. They didn't have to, but they didn't have to write this. Yeah, the wheelchair was an interesting prop to be used for, like, the fact they're in a wheelchair and they were moved, but you could have had it of just, they have a cast on, and it's like they'll get better eventually. Or something to that effect, of where it's like, yeah, they have a broken foot. We know it's going to heal eventually. It's just, it healed months ago, but they never took it off. They never told anyone. That would be fine. But this, just the fact of just like, there's nothing about, we didn't even get their diagnosis of just how afflicted their legs are. It's just, we saw them in a wheelchair, we assumed they're in a wheelchair, and all of a sudden, whoa, they're walking! This also adds nothing. Oh, I can walk now. It's like, cool. What does that change? Nothing. You went from person to standing person. It's like me getting out of a chair. It's like, what? What's the... Now that we know you could walk, it's no longer meaningful that you're in a wheelchair or anything like that. Yeah, she already had her character development moment. Yeah, it's so weird. Her choosing to confront her trauma. Yeah, and it would be, interesting to just have a character in a wheelchair. the like a giant shot of like all the different characters, and there's a person in a wheelchair. People would be fucking stoked at that. And yet they chose, no, we can't have the cute girl be in the wheelchair. We'll just use that as a shock thing and use it just for the case. But then after that, we'll just have her get up out of the chair. At that point, it's just like, why did you have them in the wheelchair other than that thing being needed to move? It could have just as easily been like some weird contraption instead of a drone that it's like, oh, this was parked in front. They tried to move it, and then because it's like, oh, it got moved, it could move again, then Army like remote controlled it out of the way and made it run away. And you didn't need to put her in the wheelchair if you're going to take her out of it. You could have made something. You made a drone with working missiles. You can make something. I would also like to point out her model was designed to allude to a more physical problem with her asymmetrical leg placement. Yeah, it looked like she was not taking care of herself at all. Sorry if poor language there. I get the idea. Yeah, that... Wow. Wow, what is with these cases and being like, oh yeah, this was like an interesting case. Here's the final moment. It all sucks. It's like, no! Stop that!
But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I'd have to leave the house. So I faked it.
Makes sense, but no.
I kept pretending I couldn't walk. But I know Papa is watching over me now, and I'd hate to disappoint him.
Hi, just had to help with a thing. What happened? And it sucks for the good characters. 2 faves from the game. Yeah, she's got such an interesting little design. Just a little Russian girl with a attack drone. Yeah.
So, from this day forth, I'm going to march forward on my own 2 feet.
What a brave kid, trying to move forward like this. But it must be so hard, this soon after her father's death.
Don't you ever stop. You just keep on walking, comrade. Stay brave, because there will be days when you will want to stop. But I have faith you'll find a way to muster the strength to push through them.
What a brave kid, having Capcom retcon her disability. Yeah, you can do it.
Hey! Papa's back!
Pearlface's been kidnapped. Mr. Wright! What's that look on his face? Oh, Apollo. Is everything all right with Miss Faye? Ms. Faye? She's safe. For now. Cuz, Capcom, why? Capcom is the same company that put Russian spyware into Strider because they fucking hate consumers or something. Capcom needs better leadership. What? Spyware? Yeah! Yeah! It was a whole big issue when people figured it out. It's like Capcom put that spyware on like all of their classic games.
Well then, we'd better go save her, quick! Where is she anyway?
I'm afraid I have some bad news. Huh? Maya's not here in the States. She's still in Khura'in. And she's still being held hostage by the mastermind behind this whole thing. The mastermind? That's right. Politician Wimperson was nothing more than a pawn. Maya's true abductor is in the kingdom of Khura'in. What? I don't understand, Mr. Wright. What in the world is going on over there? But as shocking as that news was, it was only the beginning. The beginning of something big. Big enough to shake Khura'in to its very core. Revolution. I was being swept in a mighty wave that nothing could stop. Of course, at the time, I had no idea the days ahead. What the days ahead had in store for us.
Wow! I love the fact that I was able to figure it out all by myself. But then that ending moment, it gives a bad taste in your mouth. Worst for first, best for last is... Sorry, did I come back a bit late? Yep, we're a bit at the end now. Fuck. Wow! Yippee! Yeah!
The beginning of the end.
Good Mashi.
Pawn Attition Wimperson.
That would be funny.
Fuck.
That's a lot of fucks. But yeah, this was great. I have no idea how the rest of this is gonna go, because we're done with the court. Wait. Is there gonna be another? Is there 2 cases within this? Khura'in. Like the last game. Oh yeah, there was 2 cases there. Well, I thought they already did the 2-case trick illusion by being like, oh, this is just a civil matter. And now we're talking about murder. It's like, whoa, look at that. Now we're fighting Phoenix, and that's the big finale. What? You're telling me this wasn't the big finale? What case is this? I don't know anymore. You've seen Khura'in. Now get ready for Korra to Ein. Final part 1. Fuck. Case number. We're on case number 5. Did you know whenever you French fries on ketchup taste ketchup fries this is because you ketchup taste fries into French. When you oven the hot food and you out cold the food of that. I've never liked those jokes. I've never liked nonsense. Because it's like, oh, look, it's so funny because it doesn't make sense. It's like, cool. You're not adding to anything here. You're just showing that you can't think of anything other than something that will confuse you. And if this is confusing to you, you don't have a high bar. I want to understand stuff too, Ted. I do wordplay, not nonsense. Ditto. But, oh boy, we hit the save mark right at the 3-hour mark, so booyah. Kasha. But yeah, this was great. I am so excited to see how the heck this is gonna go. And so I will see you all next week on Monday at noon PST. And that will be the last stream of the year. Because, oh, would you look at that? It'll be on the... Oh, fuck, I can't remember the name. The days. Is it the 30th? The 30th, if you're in America. Tomorrow's almost Christmas. Oh, yeah, right. Today is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. And then after that is Christmas. I've already opened my Christmas gifts because I was able to guess them both. AA line. It's not yet Christmas. Yeah, this was great. I'll see you all next time.